the obvious choice to talk about their mental health. Not a lot of people know me for my excellent dealing with my mental health. Not what I'm known for. In fact, when my mom brought up that somebody had talked to her about this, she told me, she was like, I think they just really want somebody to come and talk to the kids and just show them that you don't have to be a super high achiever, It's I'm gonna go there and be a professional underachiever? Absolutely, I can do that. That's fine. I don't know. I thought first, and then when I told my fellow comedians about it, they laughed harder at the idea of me being a mental health advocate than they do at my regular jokes. I swear to God. They thought it was ridiculous. I thought for a second maybe I was being pranked by the people who used to bother me in high school. I was like, is this just an elaborate way to get me back to the hometown for one last go at old Carolyn Paul? Could this just be that? I don't know. This is not normally what I do. I think the last time I talked with teenagers, the last interaction I had with teenagers was when I was walking to a comedy roast, and a few of them leaned out of their car and told me to go home, you fat ugly dyke. So I was like, okay. So I was a little nervous. I was a little nervous about coming and talking to you guys. I don't know. I was homeschooled in Chelsea. I grew up here, but I was just a homeschooler kid. I didn't, participate in a lot of the same things as everybody else. I always felt kind of outside of stuff. And then I went to public high school, and I immediately got a bully. 2 weeks in, I got a bully on my back. It was crazy. You don't even know me yet. But they didn't need to. They didn't need to. I mean, it was awful. This guy, he TP'd my house 3 times in my first month of public school. That happened. Started prank calling my house, shoving me around in the hallway sometimes. It was the worst. I don't know. There's one thing I would like to thank him for, though, which is that he was the first person ever to call me a dyke. And I was like, I wasn't sure yet, but if this is the way men act, you might be right. You might be able to do that. Might go that way. I don't know. But no, I am excited to be here. I think in some ways, maybe I'm a good choice of somebody to talk to you guys, just because I have spent a lot of my life dealing with mental health, and a lot of that time felt like kind of being gaslit by the adults in my life. Do you guys know what gaslighting is? Anybody? Gaslighting? Anybody have a good definition of gaslighting? It's lighting your farts on fire. Okay, guys, that's what gaslighting is. No, it's not. It's not. But it's when it's when people basically try to make you feel crazy for the way you feel, right? When you try to, when you know what's true, but other people try to convince you that what you know to be true isn't true. And a lot of that happens when we start talking about mental health, and especially when we talk to youth about mental health, I feel. So I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm going to be really honest. Even leading up to this event, I've been dealing with a lot of my own mental health struggles. I've had days in the last month where I couldn't get out of bed at all. I had a close friend of mine just last week who had to go into the hospital for treatment for her bipolar and schizophrenia. My friend who gave me a ride here this morning, I called her to make sure she was still coming over, and she burst into tears on the phone, okay? We're all dealing with mental health all the time. And actually, just this past week, a fellow comedian friend of mine committed suicide. So this is stuff that is very day in and day out, and it will be forever, Which is why you come to a comedy show for me to depress you and tell you you're going to deal with your mental health forever. It's never going to end. Oh man. But it's worth fighting for, It's worth fighting for. You were worth fighting for. It took me a long time to kind of realize that. I didn't start realizing that I had mental health issues until I was about 21. And at that time I went on to medication, and that medication didn't work very well, and it led to me dropping out of college. And into a lot of years of struggling to know how to deal with it. I probably saw half a dozen different therapists. And really, it all came down to access, to being able to stay with a certain care provider, and to have the support and people around me to have a continuum of care and keep dealing with it. So the fact that you guys are here and choosing to be here and talk about this stuff is beyond impressive to me. To do this at such a young age, I think it's awesome. Yeah, and speaking of access to care, universal health care is what we need if we want to tackle mental health in this country. Bottom line. Yeah, maybe I should switch and do some regular jokes. Should I pull out the whoopee cushion? I feel like. No. Yeah. I don't know. It is hard. Talking about mental health, a lot, has made me realize, doing comedy has made me realize really that there's a lot of things about myself that for a long time I wished I could change. And then, realizing that if I could talk about them in a way that was like fun and how people laugh, it actually connected me so much more with other people. I don't know, since I started doing comedy, I get put on a lot of like all-female lineups, which is really cool. They're really fun shows. It kind of sucks for me because before I started doing comedy, I was trying to quit gender. And I was doing really good, you guys. I was down to like half a pack a day. It's like, I got this, I don't know. And then they were like, you want to be on an all-female lineup? I was like, yep, that's exactly as much of a woman as I'll always be. Extra stage time. I'll do that. I don't know. Yeah, I know a lot of people, like, even growing up here, it was hard, struggling, knowing that I was gay, knowing that I was not, like, super much a girl the same way that other people around me were. I don't know, and so I know people struggle with like the idea of non-binary people or gender-neutral pronouns, but I don't know, I always tell people you just gotta keep trying, and if you do keep trying, you're gonna get they, them there, you know? Cool. And once you get they, them there, you're not gonna wanna leave. It's so much fun, you guys. It's so good. Oh, man. Yeah, I love the idea of being here with like, you guys are here surrounded by a lot of people who love you, right? Honestly, the librarians here love you guys so much, they like researched me, and they found some clips of me on the internet that I can't even find. So like, I'm gonna need them to show me how to find that. But, just really follow your dreams, kids, because I started out as like a little fat gay homeschooler in this town, and now the library thinks I'm too edgy. So, sky's the limit, you know what I mean? It's fun stuff. Have you guys ever thought about how unfair it is that if you die and your body can't be identified, how do they figure out who you are? By your teeth, right? By your dental records? Heard this? Doesn't that seem really rude? Like, you're already dead and now you're going to talk about my dental records? I don't think there's anything I'm less proud of than my dental records. Like, really? I feel like it's going to happen, I'll have been, missing for years and my family's hoping I'm just, stashed in somebody's basement or something. And the cops are going to have to call my mom and be like, Miss Paul, this is a phone call nobody wants to have to make, but we think we might have found Carolyn's body, and we just have a few questions for you. When Carolyn was born, did she pretty much just start eating candy and never stop? Did she have 6 cavities the year she was 6 years old? Seems like a lot. She wants to have half a root canal because she couldn't afford the other half. My mom's just going to have to be like, yeah, that's my baby. The cop's going to be like, cool, it's looking like she dropped her burrito into a ravine and just dove in after it. So we're thinking it happened at this point. Oh man, you just look horrified. See, that's good though. That means you're still brushing your teeth. Stay on that. Stay on that. Can't emphasize that enough. You learned nothing else today. Please. Please brush your teeth. Oh dear. Man. I don't know. Sometimes people do call me a wet blanket. Okay. Okay, this one time I was playing with some Legos, at a family holiday, and my little cousin came up to me, and he started playing Legos with me, and he was like, man, they should really make Legos for girls. He's so little, this is my job. Fix this. So I was like, actually, Steven, they don't have to make Legos for girls. Legos are just for anybody who likes playing with Legos. That's one of the best things about Legos. And he immediately turns to my older cousin and goes, see, I told you she'd say something like that. Which is for sure the cutest way I've ever been called a wet blanket, okay? For sure. But I don't feel like I've ever been called a wet blanket by somebody who just found a wet blanket while they were on fire. Because if I had, it'd be a lot more like, they got you here, Carolyn, you're a real wet blanket, I don't know. Sometimes people tell me I act like I have a chip on my shoulder, right? But I just feel like those people are judging how I carry around my snacks. You know what I mean? Those are my chips. I'll just do whatever I want with those. Or they're like, oh, Carolyn, you wear your heart on your sleeve. You can always tell how you feel. I'm like, no, that's not my heart. That's just a dip. That's just where we go with the chips, man. Get with it. Yeah. But I do think, I think something that comedy has also taught me is that, right, you can share the most vulnerable parts of yourself, and that's what people want to see. That's what people love about you. You don't have to brush your teeth to get love in this world. There's tons of people that love me anyway, you know what I mean? You should, please do. But there's room in this world for all of us. I'm not great at a lot of things. Ask your event coordinators. I couldn't fill out a contract before I arrived here to save my life, okay? I'm not good at everything. But I'm good at some things, and it's worth me being here. And I'm glad that I stuck around, I think also comedy taught me that you can roast people while letting them know that you love them, right? Like, and it can be kind of a powerful tool. You know, like I think we get caught up a lot of times in trying to connect with people through presenting sort of who we think we should be. But I think like all of your softness and all of your toughness you need to bring that into every day with you, and you need to bring that into yourself with you. You need to be soft with yourself, but you also need to be tough with yourself and really push yourself to fight for yourself. Because this is there's a lot of tough things in the world, and every day you're gonna sort of come into new challenges and new different things. But you've got to advocate for yourself and advocate for each other, which you guys are doing, which is really cool. Man, let me see. Let me see if I got a couple more jokes for you. All right, so I don't know. A lot of times people accuse me of hating men. It's something that people just say. They don't even have to know me. They'll see me across the room and be like, "You hate men." And it bugs me because I definitely don't actually love men. Always been close with men my whole life. All kinds of different men. Tall ones, short ones, respect, baseball cap, backwards, baseball cap. Love them all. And I love men so much. I feel with a special tool. It's not just for men. You can use it for like white people or straight people, anybody you want. But it's called the reverse slow clap. You guys know what a slow clap is, right? Yeah, slow clap is like my favorite thing in the world because it's like, you know what? We weren't sure about you, but it turns out you're amazing. We like you, right? It starts out so skeptical and ends in such glory. So the reverse slow clap is like, you know what? We see you out here. You're not assaulting anybody. You have a Black Lives Matter button on your jacket, but there are just a few things that you do. Make it very hard to talk to you. Just slow down, learn to listen. We'd all appreciate it. Yeah. Anyway, I think that'll wrap us up. I just want to say, like I say, we'll be here after to talk, but I'm going to take a few questions out of the mic right now if you guys have some questions for me. But yeah, just thanks for having us here and thanks for putting this together, and I just think y'all are awesome. And everybody that I've told about this is like, what? Is Chelsea where all of the super emotionally intelligent teenagers live? I was like, I don't know what you know. I just think this is awesome. So anyway, thanks for having me. Let me know if you have any questions for me now. Does anybody have anything off the top of their heads for the group?
Where do you live?
Where do I live? So I live in Hamtramck, Michigan, which is inside of Detroit. It's an awesome town. Yeah, you guys gotta at least stay alive to leave this town for a little while, okay? It's gonna be great. They have, you know what I mean? There's way more people out there in the world. But yeah, it's an awesome town. It's a really diverse community, and I love living there. Yeah. But I do comedy all over the country. I actually just got back from a comedy tour. Got to travel to Philadelphia, New York City, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Chicago, and do comedy with some world-class comedians. And I think it took me a long time to find comedy. And part of that was my mental health. I just had a lot of voices in my head being like, well, sure, you're fun, and sometimes you're funny, but I don't know about that. But then, go to a comedy open mic. If any of you are thinking about it, go to a comedy open mic. I guarantee you, you're funnier than most of the people there. It'll really boost your confidence. You should get out there.
Did you do comedy in high school?
I didn't do any comedy in high school. I did do theater in high school. And do we have any theater kids here? Anybody in theater? Oh, heck yeah, I knew it! All the best ones. Yeah. I did a lot of theater. I got my varsity letter in theater in high school. And definitely not sports, in case that wasn't good.
What was the first foray into comedy like?
So my first foray into comedy was that I had been to a comedy show, and I just thought, I had been thinking for a long time, I think I could do that. So I asked for a spot, and I wrote down some jokes, and my first set was 5 minutes, and I got paid $20. And from there, I was really hooked and started doing it 4 or 5 nights a week. It takes a lot of work, but it's really awesome. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody else? Questions? Yeah.
So, how do you handle a tough crowd? Unlike today, but a tough crowd maybe that's not quite on board with your.
Yeah. It depends on the day. Sometimes I just tell myself they're not as cool as me, and if they don't laugh at me, it's their fault. Sometimes I work really hard and I try to like really make them laugh at me, but that doesn't usually go very well. Yeah, sometimes you'll get heckled and you gotta kind of think on your feet. But I think that's part of what I like about comedy is, like I said, like you can roast people a little bit and they'll be okay. You know, it's sort of a loving way to let each other know how our behavior affects each other. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't have like a go-to way of dealing with hecklers. Like, no one thing is gonna work for every heckler. But I do usually, like, I want to be the one to get the laugh. So if you have a heckler who thinks that they're the funny one in the room, I do tend to really make fun of them. So I try not to pick anything about people's appearances to make fun of. I think that that's like just kind of cheap comedy. So I usually try to just heckle them on how rude they're being and tell them to go find their own mic, you know. Yeah. Anybody else? Cool. All right, well, thanks again for having me. Like I say, we're going to stick around. Diana and John are in the back. But there's lots of other adults here. Anybody will want to talk to you. But we especially want to talk to you guys, especially any of you who are interested in comedy. But also, all three of us have our own experiences with mental health. And like I say, we lost our friend this week. So we're here and we're an open book. You can really talk to us about whatever you want. All right, thanks, guys.
I will tell you, you did a good job though, and they really do want you to ask questions. So if you're more comfortable going back and talking to them, do that. And right now we're going to have some downtime. Check out the snacks, check out the tables, and I will bring you back together, let's say, at about 2:40, okay?